Late at night, rain lashes against the windows as Claire Monroe, 36, sits alone in her dim apartment. The room smells faintly of old coffee and loneliness. She stares at the divorce papers scattered across her table, unable to throw them away, haunted by the life she once shared with Ethan Monroe. Her phone vibrates, breaking the silence. A notification from social media. Curiosity wins. She opens it and freezes. Ethan's smiling face fills the screen, standing beside his new wife, Lila, dressed in glowing white lace. Claire's chest tightens. She forces herself to look away, swallowing the bitterness that still lingers like a wound that refuses to heal. Then, a knock shatters the stillness. Claire hesitates before opening the door, and there stands Lila, soaked, trembling, her mascara streaked by rain and tears. "Please, I didn't know who else to go to," she whispers. "Ethan, he's gone, and I think I made a terrible mistake." The woman who won her husband now stands before her, begging for help, setting off a night that will unravel every truth Claire thought she knew. Claire Monroe once worked as a nurse, known for her warmth and patience. But a decade of marriage to Ethan slowly changed her. For 10 years, she remained loyal while feeling invisible beside his charm and ambition. Ethan always played the victim, twisting every argument until she questioned her own sanity. The truth shattered quietly one night. A hospital call informed her that Ethan had been in a car accident with another woman, Lila, beside him. There were no fights or screaming afterward, just silence. Claire filed for divorce, moved into a small apartment, and started a floral business, convincing herself she'd healed. Lila's sudden arrival reignites everything Claire buried. Once the woman everyone envied, Lila now trembles at Claire's doorstep, eyes hollow with regret. "Ethan's not the man I thought he was," she confesses. Though Claire's instincts warn her to stay away, something in Lila's terror feels real. Against reason, she lets her in. Morning light filters through the curtains as rain still drizzles outside. Claire moves quietly around her kitchen, the scent of coffee filling the air. Across the room, Lila stirs awake on the couch, eyes swollen from crying. The calm domesticity feels surreal after the storm that brought her there. As they sit in uneasy silence, Lila finally speaks. Her voice trembles as she explains Ethan disappeared 2 nights ago after a terrible fight. He left without his phone, wallet, or car keys. Then she adds, almost in a whisper, "Before he left, he said your name." Claire's heart stops mid-beat. Later, 2 police officers knock on Claire's door. Ethan is officially missing. Claire answers their questions with composure, but her gaze flickers toward Lila, who shakes visibly, hiding something. The air thickens with questions. Is Ethan missing, or escaping something darker? And why does every trail seem to lead back to Claire? Days blur together in uneasy silence. Lila lingers in Claire's home, timid and apologetic, yet her eyes often dart away when questioned. Claire's old wounds reopen, the betrayal, the humiliation, the way Ethan twisted every truth until she doubted herself. Resentment simmers beneath her forced politeness, impossible to ignore. But as their guarded conversations deepen, Lila's story begins to fracture. She reveals glimpses of the life she shared with Ethan, the jealousy, the control, the manipulation. He tracked her phone, monitored her expenses, even staged accidents to keep her reliant on him. The man Claire once loved was far darker than she ever imagined. A fragile bond forms between them, born from shared pain. One night, Lila finally confesses something startling. Ethan made her sign a legal document before disappearing. Claire unfolds it and her pulse spikes. It's a power of attorney, granting Lila control over Ethan's assets. Her hands tremble. Why would he give her that, right before vanishing? One rainy evening, Claire finds an unmarked envelope slipped through her door. Inside lies Ethan's wedding ring, and a handwritten note in his familiar script. If something happens to me, don't believe what you hear. Lila knows the truth. The words chill her blood. Across the room, Lila goes pale, trembling violently. Through uncontrollable sobs, Lila breaks down and confesses everything. Ethan isn't missing, he's dead. 2 nights ago, after another explosive fight, he overdosed. Panicked and terrified she'd be accused, Lila hid his body, unsure what to do. Claire listens in stunned silence, torn between anger, disbelief, and a hollow sense of inevitability. But when police uncover Ethan's body, the truth twists again. The toxicology report shows sedatives, not enough for suicide, but enough to suggest someone administered them. Lila finally admits Ethan attacked her, and she acted in fear. Now Claire faces an impossible choice: expose Lila and ensure justice, or protect her, the woman who ruined her life, but shared her pain. Claire makes the hardest choice of her life. She tells the truth. Sitting before the detectives, she lays bare the years of manipulation, fear, and quiet cruelty Ethan inflicted on both of them. She doesn't defend Lila's actions, only explains them. In the end, authorities rule it self-defense, closing the case quietly. Weeks later, the air in Claire's home feels lighter. Lila stays, helping in the floral shop, learning to live without fear. They don't speak of Ethan often, but their shared pain becomes a strange kind of understanding. Two women once divided by betrayal now rebuild themselves, piece by fragile piece. One evening, under a silver sky, Claire carries her old divorce papers to the backyard. She sets them aflame, watching the ashes drift upward like ghosts finally released. For years, I thought closure meant an apology. Her voice whispers. But sometimes it's just peace, and never looking back. 6 months later, Claire's world has softened. Her floral shop hums with quiet life, sunlight through petals, laughter from customers, and the scent of renewal in the air. Delivering flowers to an elderly widow, Claire hears, "You have kind eyes. You must have loved deeply once." Claire smiles gently. "Yes, I did." Driving home, she passes the cemetery, her gaze catching a familiar figure. Lila stands before Ethan's grave, placing fresh flowers, her expression calm, no longer haunted. Claire Parks steps out and lays a single white lily beside Lila's bouquet, a silent gesture of forgiveness, closure, and shared survival. They stand together in silence as rain begins to fall, not the violent storm from before, but soft cleansing drops that wash the past away. In voiceover, Claire whispers, "He broke both of us, but in the end, that's how we found ourselves again." Fade out. Peace.